Good morning. My name is Lexi Neesent, and my topic was health issues in early childhood. Some of the most common health issues that occur in early childhood include asthma, food intolerances or food allergies, hearing loss, and language disorders. Asthma can be triggered when exposed to certain things like pollen or even catching a cold. Childhood asthma is a leading cause of ER visits, hospitalizations, and missed school days. Some common allergens that can develop in early childhood include dairy, eggs, peanuts, wheat, soy, and shellfish. There is a difference between food allergies and food intolerances. If someone is just intolerant to a certain food, then the reaction is generally going to be limited to digestive problems. If it's a true allergy, then it can cause the immune system to attack itself. The symptoms of an attack can range from life-threatening like anaphylactic shock to less severe, but still concerning symptoms like eczema, itching, and difficulty breathing. A student with hearing loss can be delayed in speech, language, and social skills. Different warning signs to look out for include slurred speech, not being able to follow directions, and often asking others to repeat themselves. There are two types of language disorders a student can have. These are receptive language disorders and expressive language disorders. In a receptive language disorder, the student can have trouble understanding concepts and ideas. They often have trouble learning new words. And an expressive language disorder can include having trouble using language to express how they're feeling or thinking. It can affect both written and spoken language. And they might be able to understand others, but it depends on the extent of the disorder. So, how can teachers help? The first way to help is by being in the know. Be aware if one of your students has asthma or food allergies or hearing loss or a language disorder. Know how to handle an asthma attack. Know what to do if a student has been exposed to something they're allergic to. The second way to help is by being understanding. If a student has asthma, then they may have many missed school days because of asthma attacks or other things related to their condition. If a student has food allergies, then try to avoid using those allergens in the classroom activities if their allergy is severe enough. Let the parents know that there's a party coming up if there is one, so that the student can bring something that is safe for them to eat so that they're not left out. If a student has hearing loss, there are quite a few techniques to aid them in the classroom. Like you can allow them to move closer to the front of the class. When talking to them, say their name so that they know that you're speaking to them. Giving them a written copy of your notes is a really good way to ensure that they're actually following along with the class and able to learn. If a student has a language disorder, then they might need tutoring outside of the classroom. It really depends on them. And it's really important to not get frustrated with them because it's not something that they can control. And if they get frustrated with themselves, then it's important to let them cool down before trying to approach the lesson in a different way. The third way to help is by communicating. Communication is key. So it's important to communicate with the parents of the student in order to know what they want you or the school to do during an asthma attack or how to help them with their allergies. It's important to have a support system for when the student misses class, if they miss class due to their conditions. It's important to talk to the student to know how they're doing and allow them to give you feedback so that you can know how you're doing in the classroom. How do these conditions affect students? A student with a language disorder may struggle with understanding and remembering verbal instructions, especially if there are multiple steps to those instructions. So it's important to break them down in a way that the student can understand. And the student may also be behind in reading and spelling. And so students who have hearing loss can be affected both emotionally and developmentally. And so emotionally, they can usually tend to feel pretty isolated, which can affect their self-confidence and even their people skills. Developmentally, hearing loss can cause delays in their communication skills, and they can have trouble both understanding others and expressing themselves. Food allergies can affect students because they are at a higher risk of social isolation, depression, and anxiety. They're also at a higher risk for growth impairment and nutritional deficiencies because of their food allergies. So for students with asthma, the emotional impact of asthma depends on a few factors, like how severe it is, how much their asthma limits physical activities, and the level of support from their family and other social circles. There is no one right way to deal with the impact of asthma because everyone is different, but it's important as educators to help the students acknowledge their feelings and help them work through it if needed. These are some books that teachers can use as tools to educate their class about what may be going on with another student. The books Taking Asthma to School and Taking Food Allergies to School are illustrated books that talk about asthma and food allergies in a way that kids can understand. They're actually a part of a series of books that explain other conditions in a way kids can understand. They can be found on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble if you want to look at those. The Teaching Students with Communication Disorders offers teaching strategies for teaching students with speech and language disorders. They explain some of the behaviors that are associated with the disorder and give tips on how to talk to other students in the classroom about what's going on and why it may seem that the other student is getting special treatment. So this is a video I found, and it's has kids who have food allergies talk about how it's affected them in their daily life, and some of the kids even talk about how it affects them emotionally on a day-to-day basis.
What's the best part of having a food allergy? Nothing. I can't have milk, and I can't have pizza, or chocolate chip cookies, and my vanilla cookies, and strawberries. I'm allergic to dairy, egg, wheat, oat, rye, barley, tree nuts, sesame, sunflower, chia, flax.
It's been really nerve-wracking because I'm really paranoid about things. So whenever I go to a restaurant, I'm like, wait, does it have nuts? Oh no, wait, what am I gonna do? So that happens a lot to me. I'm very cautious.
Well, since I had allergies at a young age, and I would have to bring around my epi everywhere, and it was kind of scary knowing that I would have to stick a needle, the epi, into my leg at some point, and I was really little, and I didn't want to do that.
Once I started to get hives, and my throat started to hurt, and I had to go to the hospital. Sometimes when I'm eating something I'm not so sure about, and I'm nervous that I'm going to start having an allergic reaction. It's scary.
Well, it's hard because you can't eat the things other people eat.
Well, sometimes when we would make a project at school with food, I wouldn't be able to do it because it would have food that I was allergic to, and I felt left out. At school, people are just say, "Oh, I don't have it." When I talk about my allergy, some people in my class say, "I don't have any allergies," and it just makes me feel a little sad.
Well, when I was 5 or 6, I told my mom that I didn't want to be remembered for the kid with food allergies. I wanted to be remembered as a great gymnast or a kid who did something great or someone who changed the world or just made the world a better place.
When I was younger and in elementary school, they had a peanut-free table where kids with allergies had to sit there, and you could have 2 or 3 friends come with you, and it's kind of all my friends are over there. Well, me and another friend that I had that also had to sit there, we went to the principal and we asked to have more friends sit with us. I've learned that I now have the power to speak up for myself.
When I was younger, I remember when I was in Hebrew school one time, I was afraid I'd make my mom wait out the door. As I got older, I realized I can advocate for myself. I became more confident, and it develops over time.
There's a few moments where I feel comfortable speaking up about my food allergies, and that's at restaurants. When I go to restaurants, I always make sure to tell the waiter that I have nut allergies. And I always bring my own snacks to wherever I go, just in case. So we decided to do the clinical trial. They had to give you your allergen, then over time they would build you up. I really did not like nuts, so to eat it, I would put it in ice cream. Well, when I found out it had worked, I was really, really happy. Like, I just could tell that I was gonna have a much better life and I would be able to do so many things that normal kids would get to do.
That I would be so happy because I can eat everything in the world.
It would be great.
Happy.
It would be a lot nicer because I could just like not worry about anything.
I'm very into science. I've wanted to be like a scientist when I'm older. I want to play hockey when I'm older. I want to play football when I'm older.
I would probably work for FAIR, and I would find a cure with FAIR for food allergies.
This last slide is just my sources that I found. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.